Hi, I'm going to be presenting my culture chest today, and my name is Mercy Priest. So, here is my chest. I used an old wooden box that I got from an antique store. So, I guess that says a little bit about me that I like to go antique shopping. But I set it up where the front, I used it to kind of look like an American flag. And this is because a lot of people tend to think that I'm just American, but I actually grew up in a different country, so I'll get more into that once I open my chest. And so that does change the way that I feel people treat me, because there are times where I don't fully understand maybe a cultural reference or a certain interaction that is more American, I'll say, and so it can lead to some interesting conversations and situations where people kind of look at me like, okay, is she okay? Because they just assume that I am just an American, and also because I sound American. So I set it up like an American flag, and then for the stars, I just did the female symbol here. I identify as a cis woman, and so that's something that when people see me, they assume that I am a cis woman mostly, and so they're right about that. This sign here is Autism Awareness Infinity sign. I work with children with autism at a clinic, and so oftentimes when people are getting to know you, one of the first things they ask you is like, what's your job? And so I thought I would add this because anyone who's just getting to know me will make assumptions about me because of my job. And I put an 18 question mark. It could be 17 or 16. Pretty much I don't look my age. A lot of people think that I am a teenager or just turned 18. I'm 23, and so that does change how people treat me. I feel like a lot of times with older people especially, they'll treat me like a high schooler, and so if I am going in for something, I may not be treated like an adult, which can be frustrating because I may not be taken as seriously as I would like to be. So for that, I tend to try and dress more professionally in those situations, as well as because I am a woman, sometimes I will be dismissed because of that. I also have my student ID from my last school. I don't currently have my LSU student ID, so I decided to use this, but this shows also that I am a white woman, and so obviously there's certain privilege and ways that I'm going to be treated differently from others because of my skin color, and that's something that I'm aware of and just wanted to put on my box as something that people see me as and treat me accordingly, as well as when they first get to know me, they'll find out I'm a student, and so they might treat me differently because of that as well. Now for inside the box, it's a little bit more chaotic, but I'll go through each part. So I mentioned that I grew up in a different country. My parents are missionaries to Germany, and so that's why I have the little German flag, as well as I have a little cross necklace, because obviously when you're a missionary, that's the whole idea that God or whichever divine being you believe in calls you to go to another country to teach that spirituality or that way of life or faith, yes. And so growing up, part of my identity was being a missionary kid, being someone who was supposed to be kind of like a light to others, which was hard because I grew up in a very post-Christian society where many people are atheists, who don't believe in God, believe that science has already proven that God doesn't exist. And so growing up in that environment instilled a lot of fear and anxiety in me as a child, because I felt like people were going to judge me for my faith. And so I didn't feel like I fit in often with my peers and friends at school and outside of school as well, because it was like this underlying tension that I felt, because it was like I was different. I had a different perspective or a different way of life, in a sense. And so that really has impacted me greatly, I think, in just how I interact with people from different backgrounds, different spiritualities, because I understand what it feels like to be the minority in a faith-based religion. And even though I didn't necessarily have anyone who would go and purposely try and be unkind to me because of my faith, there were moments where I felt like I couldn't speak up to the things that I believed at the time, or things that I thought, because I thought that my classmates or different people were going to get on to me. I just didn't feel like a safe environment often. So, and also there's the difference between just growing up in a different country. My parents are both American, but I grew up in Germany, and so much of my culture is a mix of German and American. While I'm from America and Germany, I'm considered the American. Oftentimes here, I'm considered the German. And so it's kind of like this feeling of I don't really know where I belong, because I feel more at home in Germany, but in Germany I still feel out of place because I'm an American. So these two items, I have a little book and granny square that I crocheted. They represent my desire to learn and to just continue growing in life. I love reading and doing research and learning about anything, really. I love all different kinds of topics. And so I think that might surprise people, because I think just because of my background as well, I was just immersed into so many different cultures living in Germany and so many different ways of thinking. And so it's something that I really love. As well as I'm very artistic, and so I see the world in the sense of I'm always looking for beauty in things, even in small things. And I do think that kind of shapes how I see the world and influences how I interact with it and other people. As well as I just love making things with my hands. Being productive is a big thing for me. I have a hard time just relaxing. I always need to be doing something. And so this has given me the opportunity to really sit down and kind of decompress from the day. And so it shows a little bit more of my introverted side, and that's why I put that in here. And then last, I'd say the most recent thing that has influenced my life in the last couple years is my relationship with my boyfriend. He is a Black Hispanic. He's from Honduras. He just got his citizenship, so that's really exciting. But I've learned so much through just being with him and getting to know his family and learning more of his culture, and it's something that's been so beautiful to experience. And also recognizing just the differences, even just in race, in culture, how, there are times where he's going to be treated differently because of his background, and recognizing that that is a problem and something that is very real in our day-to-day here in America, and something that I, as a white woman who has not really experienced it, can learn more from him. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about my life and about how I think people perceive me on the outside and how I perceive myself and things that have influenced my life. So, thank you for watching.